Hello, 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 and welcome to day 11. Wow, you have made it to day 11, or if you're just joining me today, you have made it to your mat today, which is an accomplishment in itself. Welcome to day 11 of this 12 days of yoga journey. I'm so excited to have you here. I'm so excited to be here. Today's focus is all about balance, finding your balance physically, but also mentally, and what you can tap into and what you can bring more of in your life to welcome in more balance. Because let's be real, it can be very challenging to find that place of balance in your life. And we can tend to teeter totter from doing too much, maybe feeling like we're not doing enough, even though we always are, to finding that place of right in the center, which we've talked about in the past in some of our other practices, this place of contentment, this place of balance. They really play hand in hand. So today that will be our focus. And you don't really need much today. As always, all you ever really need is your body in a safe place to practice, maybe a mat beneath you. But I also do recommend to have 2 yoga blocks nearby or a couple thick books that you can stack on top of each other that could be of use during some of the postures, just to help you with stabilization, or even just to have them nearby as a just in case type of thing. And then I always recommend, if you are in need of some more hip support and space, you can grab a little cushion to be placed under your sit bones when we're in any seated postures. This practice, as well as all of the other practices of this 12-day journey, are prenatal safe. So welcome pregnant mamas, but also welcome to all levels. I'm happy to have you here. So pop on something comfy if you don't already have something comfortable on, something you can move in. We shouldn't be working up too much of a sweat today. That's why I'm hoping that I picked the right outfit. And once you are ready, let's get started right here on our mat in a crisscross or seated position, one foot in front of the other. Begin to close down your eyes if you feel safe to do so. Roll your shoulders up, up, up to the ears. Hold them there for a few seconds. On your exhale, release them down with a big sigh out of your mouth. 2 more just like that. Scrunching them up. The only time I'll ask for you to scrunch your shoulders up to your ears and release. And one more. Make it big, make it expressive. Inhale in and exhale, drop those shoulders down, release. Beautiful. Begin to inhale, rise the arms high. Exhale, send your palms over to the right, feeling that beautiful side body stretch. Inhale through center. Exhale over, feeling that side body stretch to the right. Take one more to even it out on both sides. Inhaling in, growing long and tall, pointing through the tip of those fingers. As you exhale, fold back over to the right. Inhale through center and exhale over to the left. Beautiful. You can keep your arms raised. Begin to bend your right elbow and bring your left palm over to that right elbow as you use it to press back and get a nice shoulder open arm stretch. Feeling it up your bicep, your tricep. This is always a beautiful stretch that you can take at any time of the day. Everything's connected, so it can really be helpful for our neck, any shoulder pain, just opening up the chest and the ribs. Beautiful. Another big breath in here. Exhale, release the left hand, bring both hands straight up as you drop down that left elbow now, bringing the right palm to that left elbow, pressing through to your feel good spot, feeling that stretch down the left arm now. and shoulder blades. You can always intensify the stretch by reaching that left hand down a little bit farther down your back, touching your shoulder, and also using this right hand to press a little bit more deeply. Just becoming aware of what you need and what's maybe too much. Beautiful. Another big inhale in here. And on your exhale, releasing your hands down, shaking the arms out a little bit, wiggling out the shoulders, maybe making some circles. I love to just take these moments of intuitiveness, being like, what do I need to shake out a little bit in this moment? Beautiful. Inhale, opening the arms wide, pressing them back, opening through the heart and the chest. And on your exhale, wrapping your hands around your body, giving yourself a hug. One more just like that. Big inhale in, sending the gaze high. And on your exhale, wrapping the opposite arm on top, giving yourself a hug. Beautiful. Begin to transition onto your hands and your knees through tabletop position, finding that long, straight spine. Inhaling, extend out through your right foot and extend out through your left hand, holding here, engaging through the core slightly. For my pregnant mamas or anyone that this is a bit too intense for, you can drop down the leg, keep the arm hovered, or vice versa. Keep the leg hovered, lower down the arm. But I definitely encourage you to challenge yourself a little bit. Beautiful. Dropping down, coming back through center. Inhale, find your balance, find your center. As you exhale, send that left foot out, maybe moving forward a little bit if you are limited on space like me. Extending out through the right arm. Straightening, finding that long line from the tip of your fingers all the way to the tip of your toes. Inhaling in, engaging and sucking through the core. We won't be here long. 2 more breaths. One more inhale. Finding your balance. Exhale as you lower down. Begin to come straight through some cat-cows. Inhaling, sending your gaze high, sending your belly down. If you need more space, you can always open up your knees to the full width of your mat. Exhale as you arch the back. Send the head down. Send the gaze to the knees. Few more just like that. Moving slowly, moving gracefully. Finding your center. Finding your balance. One more. Inhale in. And exhale, arching that back. Sending the belly in. Beautiful as you find your way back through center. If you have enough space on either side of you to bring your leg out fully, you can stay where you are. If not, you can transition forward to face the full width of your mat. Come into kneeling position and begin to step your right foot out long to the length of your mat beside you, bringing your toes to point towards the front of the mat. Inhale, extend out through your arms. Exhale, taking a modified half triangle, drop your right fingertips to the ground, send your left fingertips tall. You can close down your eyes here. Finding your balance, breathing through any wobbles or shakes. One more inhale in. Beautiful. Coming back through center. You can drop those arms, bring them to your hips. As you shift that foot forward, again, I'm going to shift so you can see me in the camera, but you can stay where you are. Begin to walk your foot out in front of you, coming up onto the heel, hands on your hips. Exhale, gently fold over that thigh, giving your belly plenty of space. For my pregnant mamas, if you want to lower down even deeper, you can always bring your fingertips to the ground. You can also utilize your blocks here on either side just to show you a couple different modifications. Stay where you are, breathing. Bringing your blocks on either level, mid, lowest, or highest, to keep your back straight, give you some more support. So many different options you can take for this. Half split stretch. But also, I love this posture because it really does focus on your alignment and your balance more than you realize. You have to engage your core slightly to hold yourself in the center. Breathe through the wobbles of your leg. Beautiful. If you use your blocks, set them aside for a moment. Step that right knee back to meet the left, back into your kneeling position. As we begin to transition over to the left side, walking that left foot out, pointing the left toes to face the front of the mat. Roll the shoulders back. Extend through both arms, creating this long T shape with your arms. As you begin to exhale, send those left fingertips down, right fingertips high for a modified triangle pose. Love taking this version to give yourself a little bit more of a gentle transition. It allows you to focus on different parts of the body. One more big inhale in here. And exhale, returning back through center. Again, I'm going to shift so you can see me. You can stay where you are as you transition to that half split. Using your blocks if you need them on either side of the calf. Inhale, lengthen. Exhale, fold forward. Finding your balance, maybe readjusting your back knee. Just breathing here for a few moments. Allowing yourself to be here. Coming back to that thought of balance and what it means to you. What are some things you could try to bring more balance into your life? What are some things you can eliminate to create more space for the things that you love and enjoy in your life? 2 more slow, deep inhales and exhales. Feeling that stretch all the way down the back of the leg. Beautiful. If you use the blocks, you can set those aside. Set them closer to the front of your mat as you may need them later. Coming back through center. Coming down to rest your sit bones on top of your knees. Taking a moment to breathe, recenter, reconnect. Beautiful. Shifting back onto hands and knees, tabletop just for a second as we transition, curling our toes under, pressing our hips high, spreading through all 10 fingers for our first downward dog of the practice. Press through your hands. Feel your spine lengthen. You can take some pedals of your legs here, or just find stillness. Beautiful. On your last breath, press those heels down as far as you can. And on your exhale, send your gaze through your hands as you step your feet forward into a wide stance, especially for those of you who are pregnant with me and need a little bit more space. Inhale as you rise your way, vertebrae by vertebrae, taking your time, allowing the last thing to rise be the crown of your head. Lower down the shoulders, relax, yet lengthen at the same time. Mountain pose. Beautiful. Just taking a moment here to ground down, really root down through your feet, all four corners, connecting with the ground beneath you. Beautiful. On your next inhale, you can open your eyes if they were closed and begin to heel toe your feet to a little bit closer than hip distance apart. They don't need to necessarily be flush together, but just a little space in between your feet. And here we're going to set up for tree pose. I'm going to shift towards you so you can see me better. You can stay right at the top of your mat, whatever serves you best. Just to show you from this view, rolling the shoulders back, creating length through the spine. Begin to shift your weight into your left foot as you bring that right foot and right leg up. Here is where you can place the arch of your foot in towards the center of your thigh, below your knee, on your calf, or your ankle. Depending on where you are in your practice, where your balance is at, every day is different. So definitely ask yourself where you were at, experiment a little bit, find your good spot. And from here, you can then bring your hands to heart center or overhead, pointing your index fingers, coming into your version of a tree pose. Finding a drishti, which is essentially a focal point in front of you to focus on, to find your balance. Opening up through that leg, keeping your hips centered and pointed forward. Engage slightly through your core. Relax your shoulders. And just breathe. Two more breaths here, breathing through the wobbles. Beautiful. Begin to release your hands. You can utilize using your hand to lower down that right leg and finding your center through mountain once again. Closing down the eyes for a moment to breathe. Beautiful. Once you've found your center, once again, begin to shift your eyes open. Shift your weight into that right foot as you begin to find that sweet spot in your tree pose on the left side, wherever that may be. You may notice that this side might be a little bit more wobbly than your other side. Typically, one side is always a little bit better at balance than the other. So be mindful with that. Show yourself grace. Bring your hands to heart center or overhead. Index fingers pointed, focusing back on that point, that drishti in front of you. Breathing for 3. 2 more. On this last breath, if you feel safe, maybe closing one eye, closing the other, maybe both. And releasing that left foot, releasing down the hands by your side, mountain pose. Bringing a smile to your face, Thanking your body for what it just did. Such a beautiful experience to challenge our body in so many different ways. Beautiful. All right, I'm going to shift back to the top of my mat. You can stay where you are. Inhale, rise the arms high. Exhale, bring the palms down through heart center and lower them down by your sides. Once again, we're going to take one more balancing posture on each side, which is known as the Warrior Three. Now, if you don't feel safe doing this, if you're just like, my balance is not there today, that is okay. I'm going to show you a modification that you can do, as well as a way that you can utilize your blocks to give yourself a little bit more support, hopefully within this posture. So if you are familiar and Warrior Three is in your practice, you can begin to step back that right foot as you shift your hips and your weight forward, pressing down your weight evenly in that left foot, extending through both hands and that back right leg. For Warrior Three, you can keep your arms here. You can bring them to your sides. If it's within your practice and your belly is not getting in the way, you can also come down, bring your fingertips to the ground. And here is where you can utilize your blocks at different levels, bringing them to the highest, the mid, or the lowest. Placing both your hands, just keeping that right leg extended long behind you. If this is too intense, you can just take little mini breaks in between, slowly lifting and lowering, working on that leg strength, practicing your balance. Do what serves you. Just for a few more moments of breath. And one more big inhale in. And as you exhale, bending through that left leg, as you transition, bring your hands to your hips, returning the right foot to meet the left. Back through mountain pose. Allowing your mountain pose to be your anchor, to be your place to prepare to welcome more balance into your life. Beautiful, catching your breath, moving through it. As we inhale, bring the arms high, palms together through heart center, resetting. On your next inhale, bending through that right leg now, shifting your weight through the right foot as you slowly begin to find your balance, extending through the left leg. Maybe staying here with palms at heart center, maybe bringing them forward, or maybe coming down and using the blocks. For your version of Warrior Three, keeping a baby bend in that right leg for support. We never want to really lock our knees. This will prevent injury. Breathing for 3 breaths, whether you're lowering and raising your leg with each breath. This is your practice. Find your sense of balance. I lied 2 more full breaths here. One more. And on your exhale, bend through that right knee. Bring the left leg forward. Slowly roll up, vertebrae by vertebrae, up to standing. Open up through the palms. Close down the eyes. Find your breath. Beautiful. You can shift towards the full width of your mat. You can keep your blocks there because you might want to use them in this next posture. Begin to heel toe, your feet a bit wider than hip distance, and have your toes point to the corner edges of your mat. As you slowly bring your palms to heart center, dip, bend from the knees and from the hips as you come down into a beautiful yogi squat. Maybe bringing the feet a little bit closer. You can utilize your blocks here, as I said, using them for support. With your hands, you can also place one block under your sit bones and use it as a little seat if you're needing a little break. If not, just finding your yogi squat, bringing palms to heart center, pressing your elbows to deepen that hip stretch. Here we're just going to play around with a little bit of balance, lifting one heel, shifting to the left, lifting your left heel, shifting to the right. A few more just like that. Having fun, moving back and forth. Beautiful. Begin to find your center. Just breathing here. Big inhales and exhales. On your last breath, I challenge you, if you feel you're open to it, rise up on both feet, lift both heels for 2 and 1. Release down. Use your hands come behind you to gently come out of that yogi squat. Come into my favorite butterfly pose. Bring the arches of both of your feet to touch. Before coming straight down into our butterfly pose, let's show ourselves a little bit of love and just massage the inner arches of your feet. We can always benefit from a little foot massage, especially after all the balancing that we just did. Beautiful. You can massage your way up through your calves, maybe a little bit through your thighs, showing every part of you a little bit of love. Beautiful. Begin to find stillness, lengthen through your spine as you fold forward, creating plenty of room for your belly if you need it. Keeping your spine long and straight. Close down your eyes as you just breathe here. One more big inhale in. Beautiful. Begin to slowly rise at your own pace. Me opening your eyes as you come back in to that seated posture where we began. Placing both palms on your knees and taking a moment to tap back in to that focus of balance. How would it feel to welcome more balance into your life? Breathe in. Breathe in and truly visualize how it would feel, what it would look like, what it would sound like. hold on to this feeling as you take a big inhale in, extending the arms out long, and on your exhale, coming in for one last big hug. Right through center, wrapping your arms around yourself, maybe rocking a little bit back and forth. Showing yourself all the love that you deserve. Not only in this moment, but always. Beautiful, releasing the hug, bringing one hand over the other at your heart center, and taking this last moment to thank yourself for showing up today, allowing that to be enough. Thanking yourself for focusing on balance and how you can welcome more of it into your life and how that can impact you as well as the others in your life. You can begin to open your eyes and take in your surroundings if they were closed. I just want to leave you with a big and very warm thank you for being here. I thoroughly enjoyed this practice. I hope you did too. I hope to see you tomorrow for our finale, day 12 out of this 12 days of yoga journey. It's been a blast. I absolutely loved it, and I definitely continue doing different journeys like this throughout the year, hopefully. So I'm sending you so much love. If you enjoyed this video and you know anyone else in your family or life that you feel could benefit, please give this a share, send this their way. It also really helps out my channel to provide feedback for me down in the comments below, as well as giving it a like and maybe even subscribing to the channel if you feel you benefit from my content. Love you so much. Happy holidays. I will see you tomorrow. Namaste.